It's April 20th, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today. In this show, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin bite. We're going to talk about precedents to the strategic Bitcoin reserves, what has come before what we're currently about to have with the SBR. Talk about how Charles Schwab is diving headfirst into Bitcoin. A lot of good stuff happening there. And also Bitcoin banking custody. You are definitely going to want to tune into this one a little bit because this is absolutely happening. Not to mention, today is Sunday. So happy Sunday. And I'm going to be revealing my entire DCA portfolio and a little hint. It's in the green. Plus, I have count them, 5 video clips that I think are pretty awesome. You're going to want to definitely be tuning into. This video is not financial advice. Please do comment below. Just say happy Sunday. Just comment for support. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know where you're watching from. Your comments mean a lot, as well as your likes and shares. And let's dive on in. Okay, Michael Saylor is in the house to start us off just by saying, take a bite. And that is with a Bitcoin B. Are you willing to take a bite of that apple and dive into Bitcoin, understand Bitcoin by doing things like reading the Bitcoin Standard, consuming that great Bitcoin thesis by Chris that I posted the other day? I'm about 1/3 of the way through it. It is very dense in a good way, and it is incredible. I'll be going back to that multiple times, but just take a bite. And documenting Saylor wanted to post a Michael Saylor quote of, "We purchased 78% of the United States for $40 million. America should buy Bitcoin." And these are the historic precedents for the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Manhattan was bought for 60 guilders. The payoff has been 2.1 trillion. Louisiana was purchased for 15 million. That payoff has been 12 trillion. California purchased for 18 million, $8 trillion payoff. Alaska was purchased for 7.2 million, a $1 trillion payoff. I think these presidents have been pretty impressive. And Michael Saylor himself says, listen, Bitcoin has no counterparty risk. No company, no country, no creditor, no currency, no competitor, no culture, not even chaos. You know what is chaos? Chaos is the fiat dollar, which of course is why Bitcoin fluctuates so much. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. If we just trust in that and know that all fiat, that all currency goes to zero against Bitcoin, there's only one path, and that is up. And this has almost 1 million views. And I'm sure by the time you're watching this, it has over 1 million views. So really exciting post. The Bitcoin Archive says, just in, Charles Schwab CEO confirms it will launch Bitcoin and crypto trading within 12 months. So welcome to the Bitcoin party, Charles, in the house. Brian says the dominoes are falling. Every major U.S. bank will offer Bitcoin custody and trading services by the end of the Trump administration. It's just going to happen. And BitStrategy says humility is recognizing you're unlikely to ever beat Bitcoin's rate of return. Fealty is recognizing you're unlikely to ever beat the strategy rate of return. And I've understood both for a long time now, luckily. Why do I want to stress out about trading into this and trading out of that? I just trust the process. I invest in Bitcoin, I invest in strategy, and I just wait for what I consider is the inevitable. The next post I want to share is from Michael Sullivan, who just has this great quote by Tom Lee, who says, MSTR is really washed out, which sounds bad, but it's really not bad. He says it's a great stock to target as it shows impressive strength relative to the rest of the market. Smart money is coming. So let's listen to Tom here.
And the last stock I want to point out that looks really washed out is MicroStrategy. The reason I'm pointing this one out, in MicroStrategy, for those who are not as familiar with the name, they are a levered Bitcoin equity. They're levered to Bitcoin because they are using Bitcoin as a treasury strategy. Bitcoin itself has acted relatively better recently, so it's starting to improve. But as you can see, MicroStrategy fell to 231 on March 11th. And then on the panic day of April 8th, when everything in the stock market was selling off, MicroStrategy fell to 236. That means it actually held at a higher low on a day when the entire market was crashing. So again, I think MicroStrategy is showing signs of being really washed out.
All right, this next video is actually from Michael Saylor, and he says Bitcoin is the only asset endorsed by a U.S. president in the 21st century. So, Michael, take it away.
This is kind of a historic entry point because all of the risk has been stripped off the asset. Like, you pretty much know Wall Street's going to embrace it, the U.S. government's going to embrace it, and banks in the U.S. going to embrace it, which means that all the other banks will embrace it. You already know all those things, and yet the market is really skittish based upon concerns about tariffs, the disposition of the U.S. economy, the interest rate forward graph. And so you see the interest rates have pulled in 30, 40, 50 basis points. And we're in this macro risk off zone. When that flips, I think Bitcoin will rip forward with a vengeance.
Now, you said Wall Street's going to embrace it, and that is true, but still, it's limited. I've been talking to these RIAs here. Many of them are very interested in Bitcoin, but a lot of them have questions when I walk around and say, what do you want to hear from Michael Saylor? They say, well, we're still concerned about suitability issues. We still have issues about recommending them to our clients. This is still a real concern. What do you say to those who are still concerned about suitability?
The only asset endorsed by a president of the United States in 50 years is Bitcoin. I mean, go back in the last 200 years in the history of the country. And I think if you go to the founding fathers, they wrote in the Constitution that money is silver and gold coin. And then at some point, there was a chicken in every pot. And maybe with the founding of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, we endorsed everybody to single family home ownership. But in the 21st century, you have just one asset, Bitcoin. The president saying, don't sell your Bitcoin. Saying more than that, saying the United States won't sell its Bitcoin. And so everything else you put your client into, if the U.S. government seized any other security that you sold to a client, if they seized any collectible, any art, any real estate, they would sell it. The only thing that the U.S. government won't sell if they are to seize it is Bitcoin.
You tell him, Michael, and we have a couple great video clips coming up as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. So check it out. I know we're all looking to stack more Bitcoin and MSTR, and to do that, we need more fiat. So let's chat about our sponsor, ShipStation. We all know the market can seem pretty chaotic at times, but if you're in charge of order fulfillment for your business, you already understand chaos. While we might not be able to help calm the chaos in the market, ShipStation is here to help when it comes to shipping and fulfillment. I've used ShipStation to easily automate shipping to customers around the globe. My favorite part about the platform, managing orders in one simple dashboard makes an otherwise massive task feel pretty darn simple. Plus, ShipStation not only integrates with the services and selling channels you already use, it's also the fastest, most affordable way to ship products to your customers. ShipStation hooks you up with discounts up to 88% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates, and up to 90% off FedEx rates. Calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/MSTR to sign up for your free trial, or click the pinned comment below this video. That's shipstation.com/MSTR. And thank you for supporting our sponsors that allow myself and my team to continue to produce these daily videos for you for free. Now back to the show. Online shopping has never been easier, but this ease is new enough that we remember a time when entering all our credit card info every time we purchased something online was the norm. Luckily, we don't have to do that anymore thanks to Shopify. That's right, that purple Shop Pay button that makes it seamless to purchase online is powered by Shopify. And Shopify doesn't just make it easy to buy, it makes it incredibly easy to start a business no matter your experience. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and they make it super easy to get up and running with beautiful, ready-to-go templates and built-in marketing and email tools. Worried about tracking inventory, payments, and analytics? No stress. Shopify helps you manage it all from a single dashboard. And back to that iconic purple Shop Pay button, it's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/MSTR. Go to shopify.com/MSTR, shopify.com/MSTR.
When I found Bitcoin, I was in despair. I had worked for a decade. I had spent 20,000 man years attempting to do everything under the sun. I could not get ahead. Right. And I was the same me. I wasn't stupid, right? You look at me and say, well, this is Michael Saylor, worked as hard as he could for a decade and could not get ahead, right? And the most pernicious thing you can do to someone is you make them think that they're just not smart enough. And the reason they're failing is because they're not smart and they don't work hard enough. And then you realize, no, the system is rigged against you. Takes me to truth number 17 is digital energy. A calorie is organic energy. A Satoshi is digital energy. If you want the AI, if you want to put life in cyberspace, if you want to bring an AI to life, you have to imbue it with digital energy. Then it comes to life. Then it thinks. Then it lives. Then it procreates. Maybe it lives forever. You can't, anything that is funded with digital credit is just a shadow. It's, it's a shade. It's a ghost. If you want something to be a true life form, you have to put real energy into it. I've said many times before, Bitcoin is a conservative asset. I give it to you. I don't have it. It implements conservation of energy in cyberspace, but the more important point is it's going to bring life to cyberspace. Truth 18, if it's digital energy, then Bitcoin's a digital energy network. How do you move energy from point A to point B? How do you vibrate energy, right? How do you do it in a rapid, at the speed of a computer rate? How do you bring the entire world into that relationship? You can't do it with a credit IOU, and certainly you're not shipping gold from New York to Tokyo in a second. Which takes us to truth number 19. If it's an energy network, Bitcoin is a digital economic system. How do you post $10 million for 5 minutes, with a company across the country and fetch it back? How do, vibration, how do I give it to someone, take it back in 18 seconds? How do I swap a capital asset for a currency asset? We see this in DeFi, right? I'm swapping Bitcoin for stable coin for Bitcoin, but think more broadly, right? Think about a world of 1 billion robots talking to 1 billion AIs that are thinking at the speed of the computer, that want to actually transact millions and millions of times an hour in time and space. They're going to do it with a digital energy network.
And there you have it, another episode of MSTR Today. And as promised, I am revealing my entire portfolio to you right now. As you can see, let's just cut right to the chase. I've been able to drop my average cost per share by DCAing $210 every single trading day of 2025 down to $307. And so my total cost, I put in over $15,498. And now the market value is $15,974. So currently my total gain, unrealized, of course, because I'm not selling, is just over 3% for a $475 total gain of buying $210 every single trading day so far of 2025. And I'm not stopping. You can see as I scroll down here, I've logged in this past week. Of course, the 18th was a Friday with no trading, but I bought every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And as you can see, my total gain percentage has been pretty green for a while now. There was a nice buy, 24% up. As you see going down here. But then obviously the beginning of the year, I'm still in the red from almost all of those purchases. So we'll see how it continues to play out. As I pointed out earlier, the important number here is my average cost per share, which is 307. Of course, the current price is 317. So we'll see what happens going forward. But it's been a great journey. And remember, I've kept out the FUD, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt. I curate the individuals that I consume their content, only the people that I know, like, and trust. As you can see, I only follow 22 people on X, and that's for a very specific reason, because I don't need to hear everybody's opinion. Everybody's so confident. They're always so right about X or Y or Z. And at least half the time, and more than half the time, typically, they're dead wrong. So why even listen to the noise? I'm just knowing one true thing in my opinion. It's inevitable. It is absolutely inevitable with a Bitcoin B. I'm very excited about the future for a lot of reasons that we talk about on this channel on a consistent basis. And like Michael Saylor loves to say, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.